Hello everyone, I apologise it is a little dark, but my bright hoodie will brighten things up a bit. We are in December, which means it is almost time for my new recipe, roast potatoes with Baileys, and some other Baileys themed taste testing, and other taste testing in general as well, some things from a Japanese themed shop. But today we have from Sainsbury's 4 orange and candy lemon crumble tarts with all butter pastry. We have Maryland sugar-free cookies and vegan cookies. Can we taste the difference? And my mother bought for me these wine gums, sugar-free. And at my friend's church, they were doing a Christingle thing, decorating an orange with Haribo, a modern way to do it. So I have some Haribo to eat. And I did try these chocolate chip shortbread cookies. They were quite nice, made with Belgian chocolate. A little hard, as unfortunately biscuit type things can be, but they were nice though. Slightly creamy. So as we are in December, the Christmas themed taste testing can now begin. So let's start with orange and candied lemon crumble tarts. So I have a lot of things to taste test, some Japanese things, some things in the cupboard, loads of mince pies, as I say, Baileys with roast potatoes is my next experiment. I have some custard which I'm waiting to do something with, so there'll be some very interesting things coming up. I've been buying things ready for Christmas. Orange and candied lemon crumble tarts filled with a fruited mincemeat, cognac, candied lemon and orange peel, all with a nutty texture from the almonds, pecans and walnuts. How do you feel about almonds, pecans and walnuts? I'm not a big fan, but in moderation I can tolerate them, I think, if the pieces are quite small. Mincemeat is 57%. Can you see those ingredients? There you go. These are our tarts. I'm really hungry. My stomach has been rumbling. I'm expecting quite a smell from the orange peel, and I was getting a smell as soon as I tore into the plastic packaging. So it clearly looks like a crumble. They're quite small, but you'd expect that from this type of product, this type of year. But still, if they'd been double the size or just slightly larger, that would have been nice. 15% larger would have been good. I believe I can smell mincemeat. Maybe a hint of orange. It's okay, it's very soft. This is a very nice soft pastry. This will be easy to eat. So it's a bit dark. I'm not the biggest fan of orange either, but there's the right amount of orange from what I've tasted so far. It doesn't overpower or distract, it just somewhat complements the whole recipe. I would say that's the orange has tasted most as an aftertaste. There's a typical mincemeat texture and a nice orange peel aftertaste. That's quite nice. That is definitely a nicer way to have something containing orange. That's not bad. That's not bad. Not bad at all. I will enjoy it, you know. Now for super delicious yumminess wine gum. Sugar-free, gelatin-free, gluten-free, with no artificial colours or flavours. Free from fellows, that's alliteration formation. And there are these petrified looking characters, well actually they look joyful, but it's a nervous response. They're fearing for their lives, so they're laughing nervously. Vegetarian Society approved, sugar-free, sugar-wise. These sweets contain maltitol. Sensitivity to which can vary from person to person. There's the ingredients. Not that familiar with maltitol. We'll have to look that up. Packing facility that also handles cereals. Some of the text is obscured. Hang on. The text is hiding behind the flaps. Cereals containing gluten, wheat, barley. So if you have basically any of the main allergies, you may need to be careful. Wheat, barley, oat, rye, milk, mustard, celery, peanuts, hazelnuts, cashew nuts, almonds, soy and sesame. I think there are 1 or 2 hidden as well, so be careful there. Contains approximately 18 sweets. Let's see. I have had some very similar wine gums, or in terms of texture anyway and chewiness, so that's quite clever because these are gelatin free, gluten free and such, but they've replicated a typical wine gum texture, not so much like Maynard's wine gums, but certain other brands that I've had. They're quite juicy, not too chewy. They have quite a calming taste. I suppose because they're sugar free, there's a nice neutrality, but then that sort of lays the foundation for positivity. There's a nice juiciness and not too chewy. Yeah, those are nice. Those are quite juicy wine gums. They are nice. Okay, now, I had Maryland cookies in a while because I struggle with eating hard things. But I thought I could carefully taste test these because I noticed there's a vegan flavour. So again, I'm curious, can we notice a difference? And I realised these are sugar free. I thought these were just standard Maryland, but in a way, well, so I believe both types I'm taste testing for the first time, but I'm particularly intrigued about the vegan Maryland cookies. How do they differ? I'm sure the texture will be the same, but what is the taste like? So we can see there's a lighter brown. Looking at the image, you can see a lighter brown colour there with regards to the chocolate chip cookies. So I'm going to start by opening up both packets. If I can open a single packet. So there's a sugar-free Maryland cookie. Yeah. So I really like cookies. They need to be soft bakery cookies, like the ones you can get at Asda, Aldi. Also have their own versions, Sainsbury's, Morrison's. These are hard cookies, mass-produced ones. So, especially with my ongoing dental treatment, I need to be careful that, you know, so you guys can see what's going on. The chocolate chip cookies do not look nearly as light as they made them out to be on their packaging. I know it's a bit dark, but hopefully you can see okay. So this is sugar-free, this is vegan. There you go. They're pretty much the same colour. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to start by eating a sugar-free, or eating a little of it. I was prepared for a harder cookie, but that wasn't actually too bad. Now, as I say, I'm not a fan of Maryland cookies. I prefer larger, softer cookies. But that tasted very bland, I have to say. That was quite a bland taste. Let's try the vegan cookie. Well, I'm a little flummoxed. Texture-wise and in terms of smell, they remind me of a traditional Maryland cookie. It's maybe ever so slightly a creaminess, ever so slightly towards the end, but both taste a bit bland, I have to say. These cost £1.70 each on Sainsbury's. Maybe you can find them cheaper elsewhere. Both vegan and sugar-free taste a bit bland. There's not much going on, and I know there's hardly any chocolate, not like your bakery cookies, which are, you get large, ginormously compassionate chocolate chips, which you can never walk by the aisle without grabbing a bag or two. these are mass produced. Some people prefer Maryland cookies, which is absolutely fine, of course. Some people may like both types. There's just nothing going on. I really wish I had a standard Maryland cookies batch of cookies. And I did think that the other ones were standard, but they're sugar-free, so maybe, I mean, they must have tweaked that recipe quite a bit as well. What do you think? Have you tried all three types? Because to me, these, I'm sure the standard Maryland cookies were not quite so bland. I was never a fan of them, but I'm quite sure they had something going on. Between these two, as I said, I do not have the standard Maryland cookies, but between these two, they taste pretty much the same. So you might as well go for vegan at the same price, and they're vegan friendly. But they're both, I'm not sure if you'd enjoy them. I mean, speaking for myself, both are quite bland, I have to say. But yeah, as I said, I really wish I had a standard packet. Presumably they do still have a standard brand, rather than them all being either sugar-free or vegan. There's just not a lot going on. There might as well be no chocolate chip cookies. And obviously with the vegan ones, you understand it's going to be a very different recipe. But sugar-free, again, they need to be careful in order to meet the sugar-free requirements. But you'd expect some sort of taste, otherwise why bother putting the chocolate chips in? We have wheat, so be careful with wheat allergens and soya allergens, I've just seen as well. Chocolate chips with sweetener, 20%. I'm not tasting any kind of sweetener. Oh, maltitol again. Maltitol, which was in the wine gums. Cocoa mass, emulsifier, fat-reduced cocoa powder, disodium, ammonium. That's the chemical. That's is it a Japanese company or American company? I think American company is trying to run cars on ammonium, which could be interesting. A vegan, so again, wheat is the first ingredient, no surprise. Soya, so again, wheat and soya are the allergens. Niacin, iron, that's good, iron is essential. Calcium carbonate, thiamine, chocolate chips. So again, I mean, it doesn't, because it just says chocolate chips 25%, but what are they made from? What are the chocolate chips made from? Sugar, cocoa mass, vegetable fat. Oh, we have some E numbers, E442 and E476. It always reminds me of that robot in Sonic Adventure. Do you remember? Was it E07 or something? Cocoa butter, sugar, sustainable palm oil, partially inverted sugar syrup, raising agents, some usual ingredients, again ammonium, bicarbonate. They just seem to be lacking in flavour, I have to say. Maybe my view will change when I've eaten a few. As I say, you know, sometimes you have to give these things time, sometimes the flavour builds, but and they look, aesthetically, they look quite inviting. It's dotted, maybe somewhat adorned with chocolate chips, but they're not doing anything for me. These are the vegan ones, and then if we look at the sugar, oh okay, yeah, that's completely different. I'm sure the first two were more similar in looks, but this one's devoid. Oh, some more on the back, okay. Let's look at the next one. Oh yeah, this one is a bit more in terms of the chocolate chips, but I just really cannot tell them apart. Well, that was interesting. I need to try, and must try and get hold of a third Maryland's cookies batch with a more standard recipe so I can compare. I'm sure they were never quite that dull, bearing in mind I was never a fan of the brand, but I think they've really dulled the flavour. The wine gums my mother gave me were nice, and the Sainsbury's orange and candied lemon crumble tarts. I don't really taste any lemon, from what I remember, but maybe I will when I work my way through the others and make no mistake, I shall. They're not bad, yeah. A nice twist on the mince pie recipe. I'm seeing a few twists, like at Aldi, there's some, I've tested and uploaded already the video where I tried rum and mincemeat tarts or something, a twist on the mince pie. They were quite interesting. And before I forget, my mother gave me a calendar, so today's the 2nd of December, so I have door number 1 and door number 2 to do. So I shall eat my Kit Kats behind the first two doors, and see what I've got in door number 1, a bunny, and I'm going to eat door number 2, and so I will leave you for now.